And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about before we got on to the consortium information is LaDonna is right now hourly, where everyone else in the office is quote-unquote salary. They build comp time versus overtime. And I was wondering if there's a reason why, and what that reason might be, why we couldn't switch her over to being paid the same way as us.
Most clerks in the entity are hourly.
Okay. Well, my concern is we're gonna probably be looking at some overtime. Because it's really hard for her to try and take time off like ahead of time so she doesn't end up in overtime. I didn't know if that was a possibility or not, but I'd like you to consider it because she does have some traveling and trainings. She does have occasional evening meetings. There's times when things are going on that, it's my fault. We don't even realize that we work right through lunch. If she can, she might leave a little earlier, but for the sake of making one thing simple in our office, I would like to consider switching her over to being paid the same way as us, and we're all on the same time frame where we have to look at her. She's paid up to what she's done. We're paid 2 weeks ahead. It's just kind of a pain. And if we could, I know at one time the clerk in our office was paid the same way, and I'm not really sure why that got changed or how it got changed, but I'd really like to change it back if we could do that.
Are you suggesting that you put her on a salary and exempt her from overtime?
No. Well, it's whatever we do with the case managers. They're not salaried from what I understand. I honestly don't understand the difference, other than I know Carrie and I are salaried. The case managers aren't, but they're paid in a certain manner that they're paid ahead, just like Carrie and I are. LaDonna's the only one that's paid up to what she's actually worked. But it's my understanding that the case managers aren't quote-unquote salaried. It's always been that way.
I guess we need to visit with Joe about that. Yeah, some more.
Because I guess I'm not real clear why she can't be paid the same way that the case managers are. They're hourly, but they build comp time versus overtime. If they were hourly, they'd have tons of overtime every week.
We need to discuss that with Joe
Okay.
and get back to you.
If I could throw something in, it really boils down to the Fair Labor Standards Act, and it depends. I don't know how your system works, but your Fair Labor Standards Act says that a person, now her and Carrie would be considered salary, and overtime doesn't apply or anything else. But anybody that doesn't supervise anybody, then you get into that thing where a person can't be salaried and exempt. They're not exempt from Fair Labor Standards Act, meaning that you would have to pay them overtime if they worked overtime. But I don't know how the county system works, but as far as private sector, that's how it works.
So, but at this point in time, they're building comp time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they get regular up to 37.5 hours and then time and a half.
After 40.
After 40, right. Regular up to 40 and then time and a half after 40.
That's correct.
And then they can build theirs, where Carrie and I are really not supposed to be building it. We're supposed to be trying to flex it out, which may or may not happen. We try not to let it get more than maybe 10 hours. We watch it pretty close, but...
We will need to visit with Joe and see what the differences are and what...
Does LaDonna work a regular scheduled hours?
Yes.
37 and a
8
half.
to 4:30 typically, but there's night meetings, there's occasional out-of-town meetings, travel on top of that. Like I said, sometimes if we have a big project, we might just work straight through, and again, that's my fault. I should tell her to stop. But sometimes when you're in the groove, you just want to get it done too. I've caught myself doing that a couple different times, but I guess I just would like to see it done the same way as the case managers if they're both hourly technically, but it would simplify a lot of things, and it would be nice to have one thing simple out there because nothing else is right now.
It's not going to get any better.
Yeah, I know that.